It wasn't easy, but after that I decided I could try again. This time I went on eHarmony. This time I took more precautions and paid attention to what the guidelines told you to do. I actually followed the rules. I liked the security feature on this site as well, as all the rules they had to keep me from getting into situations like the ones I did before. That safety made me comfortable to go back online and look for a friend. A woman named Janine texted me. I was direct and to the point. The two of us came up with an agreement. We would be friends and not hurt each other. That was in March, and we are still good friends. Today at first I was texting her today. At first I was texting her morning and evening, every day at the time she realized I needed that connection. Marksman taught me a lot about texting, like what LO means. I use it all the time now. When Janine realized I was starting to do things and get a little better, she told me that we should pull back on the texting. And it was too much. At first that was a little hard for me, but then I talked it over with Ron and understood it wasn't the end of something, it was just a change. Finally I got brave enough to ask her if she would talk on the phone. She came around and said we could start doing that. It's been great. If there's anything you want to share, we text, but only once a day. Tops. Not like before. Usually we wait to talk about our week on Thursdays, on the phone. That has helped me to have patience too, that we can wait to tell each other things. Ron really worked with me on that. She was to come to my place this summer so I can grow for her. I want to share the mountain land where I live. Janine is from the country, so we understand that about each other. When I go up in the mountains, I feel most like myself, able to listen to nature. The sounds of nature give me comfort and relax me. That feeling always kind of there, but it's stronger now. And Janine and I can share about our belief in God too, which is a very good thing. As I am working on this book, we finally made our plans to meet in person for the first time. Janine taught me you have to learn to be true to yourself and to love yourself before we can have a relationship again. She lost her husband 20 years ago to cancer, and she tells me even all of these years later, you still get some of these feelings of grief. She would tell me sometimes she senses Dead's spirit, as if Dead wants to tell me her something. Janine seems with how proud she is of me, for being able to get through all this emotional pain. In the beginning, I was more dependent on her, but she has seen how much more independent I have become. We are always there for each other. When she realized I needed to concentrate more on my goals, she told me I need to stop texting so much. At Easter 2021, Tim had some funerals to attend, too, and was still dealing with his own grief. Janine encouraged me to keep reaching out to him. She knew I wouldn't have family around the holiday, so she told me all about her family was doing that day. I felt like it was part of it. She did because she went through the same thing, and I knew that. The thing I remember on Easter is the most of the people I talked to were all my new friends. I thought that was something. I remember how years ago, I sat all alone in the school cafeteria, and I had all these people God had brought to my life. I remember telling Janine that I just wanted the week to be over. She told me that I couldn't do that. I needed to take my time and get to know myself too. And I learned more about myself every day. It did make sense. But sometimes you just make all this emotional pain to be gone. On the other hand, having that emotion means you love the person. It took a while to accept it, but Debbie is better off where she is now. She has no more pain and suffering, but I'll never forget her love. It's never going to happen. I think the most important thing about my relationship with my wife, Debbie, is that my love for her was real and still there. People might worry if you will keep that love or forget it in another relationship. My love for my wife is always going to be with me. I can visit whenever I want. If I have another relationship, I want the other person to understand that. The thing I learned is I can have a friendship and companionship. Everything doesn't have to be about leading to marriage or the same thing I had before. Sometimes I have to remind myself to be patient in a relationship and see what happens. Because I want things that maybe I can't have right now. When it's my time, love will come. Like Martin says, we want the right people in our life. not just anybody. And I know now that any relationship I have has to be for me first. For every time I gave Deb that little nudge, she's giving it back to me now.